Welcome back. If you do want to get these updates ahead of the crowd, you can join the members VIP. Very separately, we do have the lives every Friday at around 8:20 a.m. Greens Mention time. Now, we do have the cards up on the screen. We are going to channel the direct messages, and I will give you close-ups to have a deeper insight into it while I'm channeling. Now, I do see in the second week of November 2022, divine masculines do feel that they're having a light bulb moment. And I'm noticing through the first card, especially with the crowning energy, through the crown chakra and the third eye, it could particularly be that they're really tuning into something. And it's really it's this logical point where, especially reaching, through the eclipse, the other side of such, what do we do with things? I feel that their nerves are a bit high, especially because I did pull a chakra card and it is relating to the base chakra. It can be home. It can be these heightened passions that they're directly feeling. I do feel that particularly for those that are in a karmic relationship could be experiencing from the past position, a push-pull dynamic, but also wanting to honor their own light within their emotional sense, but being put in between a rock and a hard place. So I do feel, especially for those that are in a karmic relationship, this week is set to be very intense indeed, if it hasn't really hit already. I feel they've kind of been reflecting back to karmic lessons, the people they chose in their lives, who they were with, what it is to be, divine, so to speak, and all those really complex kind of related dynamics. I do feel they're trying to find the lesson in this. There could be a little bit of guilt complex. How did I get myself in the thick of this? How do I appease? I do feel in relation to divine feminine, especially for those of you that are in communication, there might have been some statement pieces that divine feminine made, and they're reflecting back on those things. There is a limiting belief at this point, and that particularly could be, to do with the eclipse energy. There is an old cycle. I feel something has happened quite suddenly, so something's been a bit of a shock. I don't know why I'm getting this offense that is taken. We can take things personal when we're more run down. So particularly, I do feel they're very internalizing things, but there could be this frustration. They're really thinking about how to directly communicate their deeper, their deeper feelings, and they're really being super cautious at the moment about how they are communicating, because they do feel they may have a bit of a blow up. I feel they're wondering when the heck things are going to be that bright day again. I really do feel these individuals this week are very much planning. I feel that they're having empathy and regret. I really feel they're frustrated. There could be this, for some it could be they're fearing that you're going to move forward. For others, it can be that they're feeling as though they really need to get their life together, that they're needing some sense of stability. Life has thrown them a curveball. I do feel they're very 3D at the moment. I'm noticing the bottom row, we've got the angel in reverse, the hangman, not having faith in themselves. Somebody's going to help them. I do feel there could be some individual that is giving them some advice, maybe some emotional support. This could be a friend. But they also feel that you have been trying to help them, but they haven't been taking it as that. And that may be in the way that you've handled things, in the way of stepping back, allowing them to go through this natural cycle. They directly are looking at you, that you've gone through things, and they're kind of seeing the yin to the yang of this. I feel whatever, especially for those of you that have been in communication, I do get this sense that whatever you've said to them, it's really landed. By no means are you holding them to high regard, but I did feel that they were literally looking at it from a set polarity, especially from the crowning energy. We're looking at this, it's almost like they're looking at this path moving forward. They're a little bit shell-shocked in the mix of things. And, with trying to get grounded prior to communicating, I feel they're trying to take a grounded approach. This could be a negotiation for some, especially where it does come to, cycling out a karmic cycle. I do feel there's a lot of toxicity, arguments, and disputes. I do feel the sacrifice and trying to appease everyone is really coming to a head, and I do feel the lady in waiting energy, especially on the bottom row, could potentially be divine feminine here. um, I do feel the karmic in this situation is feeling you're the manifester, divine feminine. Coming through in this reading, it's almost like somehow you've been that lady in waiting and you've really put it out to the ethers and you've really needed to do nothing but step back and the rest has unfolded. I feel that divine masculine had been holding himself to a high regard that was unmanageable, unattainable. And I feel with the movements forward, they're having a revelation that they can't appease everyone. Yeah, definitely can't appease everyone. I'm hearing the term somewhere over a rainbow. I do feel it may be that they're reflecting back to maybe a trip they had, an experience they had. I feel, I'm hearing the term losing my religion. That song came through to me in a channeling a few years ago. And it was where we actually, it's a little bit like the Hermit card in Tarot. I think sometimes through our darkest hours, we directly find our inner truth. And I feel it's to do with us sometimes losing faith in a situation, and having to let go of the steering wheel because something is cycling out, something's shifting. There could be two differing views here. There could be fair-based frequencies. Is everything going to be okay? But I do think this is giving this person a lot of closure. I even feel for those of you that are feminine that are directly dealing with this individual and you're sort of blowing that manifestation out. I kind of get this vibe that if you can be relaxed with the circumstances, actually going to play in your favor, even if they're not having faith in themselves, it's where they directly find their faith. Something is becoming a bit of a wake-up call, and I feel it's the faith that we're placed in other people and not in ourselves. But it's them finding the courage to actually have that ascended master energy, that phoenix rising moment. They do fear that this could be an ultimatum. Some are actually receiving an ultimatum in that. Like I said, we very much could call this between a rock and a hard place, and I think I may rename it such. I do feel with this unity energy, this union, it's funny because it's placed in the reverse here, but upon placing the cards down, something is going to shift because it is in the upright in front of me at the moment, and so is the dream state. So whatever this is, I feel it's a synchronistic message to divine feminines where they're directly standing in their power. Potentially it could directly be, Dales, that you're not as grounded as you'd like to be. It's not we need to go into hermit mode for that, but it's really just being truthful, trying to be as relaxed as possible, allowing this individual to work it out, because I do feel this person's intentions are that they want to reconcile and that you're the dream, but it's them that are losing faith in themselves. And quite synchronistically, I feel whatever this is, whatever is panning out this week, the cards on the bottom row here, as I've placed them down, have literally done a swap. And I do think that's quite a synchronistic message. So the faith card is actually in the upright. The wake-up call is in reverse. It's like clarity light bulb moment, seeing the light. It's like they've already had it. So whatever is happening, from that eclipse moving forward, and even if this does play out over several weeks, which is a potential, I still feel nevertheless this is a collective message, and I do feel unity is here and the dream. But I feel they're trying to work out, okay, let's be very rational. Let's be very grounded. What approach will we need to take? Because I do see from the crowning energy that actually, I wouldn't necessarily say they're remaining in the ego. I'm seeing the third eye active here. I really feel they're having a logical wake-up call and they're looking at things. It's almost like that psychic energy coming through. Where it's almost like some of the conversations they've had, they're putting them together like a jigsaw puzzle. Some of the behaviors that they've seen around them, again, they're putting pieces together and they're making some sense of their life in order to move forward, even though they feel that maybe Gaia has left them, so to speak, their guides have left them. Usually when we get that sort of energy, it means that they're quite 3D, which means they're doing physical work and movement. Even in the channeling, you may find from the psychic attack point of view, you don't tend to feel their energy. It gets very airy. It's usually because they're working in the 3D and getting things done. So what I'm seeing here from the bottom row is a real potential, especially how the cards have landed this week, is that there's a potential that there is a shift here within this connection. There is a little bit of jealousy going on and anger and aggression. I do think this is coming through relating to their assets, relating to their power, relating to the karmic third party. And I'm noticing the crystal ball, not that it's here on the screen, it's the clarifier pulled, which is the base chakra. And at a foundation, they're actually taking their power back. And I feel it's quite, when it does come to the people in their life, the friendship groups, they're realizing that they were part of this cycle and that they had very much within their own feminine energy manifested some of these things in. And they're saying to themselves, I'm not going to sacrifice these circumstances anymore. I'm really going to get to a place where I'm going to correct, my belief systems. I'm going to correct the people that I'm mixing around. And really, no longer having faith in individuals that are almost telling them that fallacy story. So egoically, yes, but they're wanting to shine another day. They're not wanting to sacrifice for other people. They're wanting to work with people who want to work with them. And I do feel that has already at a foundation level been well and truly the wake-up call. So I would definitely say the reason the cards have swapped at the bottom row and the outcome is because they're wanting to live the dream, not dream the dream. Now, if you do want to come through and join us, we are live every Friday. As I mentioned, yes, you can get these ahead of the crowd. If you do wish to jump into our YouTube membership, we get these a week ahead of time. That can prepare you for your twin flame path. Now, as mentioned, live every Fridays. Come through and join us. If you do want a private session, you can go to the link directly below and I can channel your energy individually or look at your joint astrology. Love and light. Take care.